Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Smart Contact, where smart people come to contact crypto. My name's Jonathan, your rock and roll guy who is all about journalistic integrity, and I'm obsessed with cryptocurrency and have been for a couple years. Today, I have a video about a specific coin. It's one I've covered before, and so this is going to be an update video about a year later on Jasmy. I've talked about it a lot. Let's dive right in. So Jasmy right now definitely has some crazy price history because it's a relatively new coin, and we're going to be diving into the price. So make sure you stay around to the end because I do have some shocking and exciting insights on the way Jasmy's price action works, and it's different than the rest of the market. But of course, it does follow the market to an extent. I'm going to also talk about Japan, how they relate, and so get ready for this. So first, let's just look at CoinMarketCap and its little breakdown of what Jasmy is. Cryptocurrency, Tokyo-based, part of the Internet of Things. A lot of people are talking about AI, Internet of Things, how that's going to be the next big boom. Like there was DeFi summer, and then there was the metaverse push. This could be the next big thing. Um, so the Jasmy platform was built to restore and protect the sovereignty of individual data by combining Internet of Things technology with blockchain technology and giving users full control over their personal information. The main goal of the project is to establish a secure environment on the platform where users can exchange data in a trustless manner between the IoT devices. IoT devices include computers, cars, phones, and a decentralized protocol. So, what exactly is data democratization? Why is that so important? Data democratization. Um, so, data democratization takes a lot more than making data accessible. Learn what it takes to build true data democracy. And this is from a website called Amplitude. And so, here's a picture. Data democratization has to do with comfort, tools, and culture, and all about data access. Data democratization is the ongoing process of enabling everybody in an organization, irrespective of their technological or technical know-how, to work with data comfortably, to feel confident talking about it, and as a result, make data-informed decisions and build customer experience powered by data. And so it's very important for things including our privacy and our ability to access accurate information, especially that is important through the Internet of Things as well as things move more into AI and away from human intelligence. And so it seems like Jasmy is definitely going to be the good guys in the data democratization process. And that's one of the main reasons I love Jasmy. Let's take a look at their Twitter. They have a promo video from November 22nd. I highly recommend always following the coins that you're interested in on Twitter. This is Jasmy US. They also have Jasmy Japan as their main account. Um, and so they've been posting, recently, February 10th. Today's February 13th. They're keeping everybody updated. They're going to be doing a Jasmy's Faces next Sunday. Check that out because the Super Bowl was this weekend. They were for the Birds. The Birds lost. Vote out, and see, I really like this aspect of it. The day before, vote out politicians who stifle progress of technology, Web3, blockchain, crypto adoption. Due to lack of understanding and inability to research, mass adoption is coming. Get on board or get out of the way. I love that concept. I love that mentality. Be prepared for volatility. On our Jasmy Spaces calls, we've discussed how more major events could shift the crypto market back in a downtrend. This is from February 9th as well. And so, personal data lockers, that they have so much going on. Make sure you're checking out their Twitter. Now let's go to the next page here. So we need to look at Japan. One thing I was kind of surprised about is Japan's the third largest economy, And we'll look into that more in a moment here. But what I'm looking at in this particular chart that I'm interested in is Japan's projections for the future. One thing that markets love is stability, because then you can make forecasts stronger because you have an idea of what's going to come before it. Uncertainty is terrible for the markets. People want to hoard their money, definitely be more risk off than whenever they can make projections more comfortably. And so this is Japan's snapshot from OECD.org, stats.oecd.org. And so let's take a little look here about the exchange rate to the dollar. 2018, 110, 109, 106, and then 2022, that's where you see a shocking change. 132, so the value of the yen is going way down, and it's still going down, but look, they think it's going to even out this year and next year. So it's looking like perhaps a good end of the year going into 2024 when it comes to stability as we enter the Bitcoin halving, which tends to be a catalyst for the entire crypto market, which is set to happen in 2024. Another thing I'd like to touch on is it's important to always look at the developers and founders and the team behind a project. And Jasmy is an A++ when it comes to this. So this is from their official website, jasmy.co.japan, JP. And they have an outline of transition, which I think is pretty cool. They plan to establish faster and closer management structure and fully utilize management resources like their technology assets and crypto, clear division of responsibilities, proactive competency-based recruitment of human resources. So they care about the people inside of their company, which is important. Recruitment of human resources with a view of globalization, which is important if you have something that's around the globe like crypto, that you know what's going on in other parts of the world. And this is just part of their first phase. And so Jasmy is closely intertwined with the company Sony. So their representative director, former president and COO of Sony Corporation, president and COO of the US Sony Engineering and Manufacturing of America, chairman of Sony Financial Holdings, and so on. Obviously, an established figure who knows how to handle businesses that are worth a lot of money. And then the president and COO, COO stands for Chief Operations Officer, and they oversee the daily functions of the entire business. And so former COO of SonyStyle.com, Japan Inc., operating officer of Sony Marketing, president of Sony Style Company, managing director of Sony Style Japan. You get the idea. And then we got the CFO here, Chief Financial Officer. After passing the JICPA examination in 2008, that's the time crypto was kind of born when the financial market happened, joined KPMG, ASA, LLP. He's been engaged in statutory auditing for listing. So he seems to know a lot about finance. So I wanted to share that with you. Let's go to the next one here. And here's just a little breakdown of some stuff that's going on in Japan right now, just from a Google search. Big news about women being filmed in this hot spring over a course of 30 years. So they're looking into that. And also a Yale professor recently has suggested mass suicide of old people to deal with their aging population, which is a major problem in Japan right now, as they have a lot more older people than they do younger people, which is typical in this day and age in civilized societies because the economy isn't that great. And so why have a bunch of kids when you can't afford it? And so the rest of it really shows their ties with the United States and the West. And so that's a good aspect if you ask me. They're not about to join BRICS. We got Japan, South Korea support U.S. takedown of Chinese surveillance craft. Japan to buy U.S. Tomahawks in 2023. We all like their food. Japan's earthquake recovery, so they know how to deal with issues like that, with natural disasters, making other deals with people in the region, the Philippines, back to the Tomahawks, 500 U.S. Tomahawks. um, pro same-sex marriage, which is something that's becoming more and more popular in the West for the past, 50 years. And so, yes, also about buying an island. So that's just a quick little some stuff that's going on in Japan right now. Uh, and now this is bigger news. So this is from the 13th, which is today. Shock BOJ appointment sparks rush for Japanese economists' obscure text. So basically, this guy wrote a lot of books. The 70-year-old Kazu Ueda is likely to helm the Bank of Japan, and investors are scrambling to find his work. So apparently his work, like the writings that he's done, the books he's written, are hard to find. So people are paying a lot of money to get their hands on these books. And so, up to $225. Um, but they're going to expand their production of this. They're going to make it available online. And so that's definitely going to be an interesting transition because a lot's going on in the Bank of Japan. We're going to touch a little bit more on that lately. This does not shout out stability right now, but as you saw in the earlier slide that I had, the projections for the future show a lot more stability. Ueda is likely would not rush to overhaul loose policy and would instead let economic data guide the exit timing. Ueda's staff secretary, um, when he was a central bank board member, told Reuters in an economic interview Monday. So that's going to be where a lot of this information came from. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida is due to confirm his pick to succeed the outgoing governor on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So we'll see if that goes through. We'll see if that rocks Japan's markets. But you do see Japan taking steps to improve their economic state, which we want to see because Jasmy does have ties to the Japanese government. Another exciting aspect of Jasmy and why it is so promising. It's hard to see it failing whenever it checks all the boxes of cryptocurrencies doing well. Here's a little slide showing Japan is the third largest economy. Steep drop off from the United States and Japan, though. So taking a look. So a lot of the rest of what I have to talk about today is going to be about price action. So let's take a look at Jasmy. It's a medium-sized market cap, small to medium-sized market cap, 284 million. It's obviously been a lot higher. If you look at all of the data, it was as high as like $5. Now we're well below a penny at 0.0061. Last time I covered it was back about a year ago whenever it spiked up to the 4 cents. So that was a big win for my channel. Like the first coin I cover, it immediately spikes up to 4 cents. So my viewers got a little bump in their pocketbooks if they were following my channel then. And now we're going to look at other charts and see how it compares. So here's Sony. As we know, there's a lot of connection between the two. This is over the past 6 months. It's correlated pretty well with risk assets, and the crypto market with an uptrend. I did not find a strong correlation between Sony and the price of Jasmy, but I did find some correlation in other things, such as Japan's price index. Like you've heard of the Dixie, well, this is the Jixie, Japan's price index with a basket of other currencies. And you'll see it's different than the Dixie. Let's do the Dixie 6 month. So the Jixie over the past 6 months is in a awesome uptrend, the exact opposite of the Dixie. Hmm. And I'll go a little bit more into that in a moment here too, but let's now look at Jasmy's price action again. Let's just narrow it down to the past 3 months because of course, Jasmy is primarily following the rest of the crypto market, just like every other crypto coin, but it does have some key differences. So let's narrow it down to 3 months. This looks like a lot more like it's following Japan's JIXI. And so that's just something I find to be really interesting, that the JIXI is moving counter to the rest of the market. Like the JIXI itself is a bit of a risk on asset. And it's going to be interesting to see whenever the JIXI does. So Japan has not raised their interest rates like most other countries. And so let's move on to my next point of view here. So the Japanese central bank decided to leave short-term interest rates at minus zero point 0.1, and its target for a 10-year Japanese government bond yield at around zero. The bank reiterated that it intends to cap the yield at 0.5. So really, here's the shocking part. Um, decided to leave short-term interest rates at 0.1%. It's a little different than the United States, which about a year and a half ago, were at the same, like 0% interest rates. Now we're all the way up to 4.75, 4.5, 4.75 forecast, actual inflation. So that's a huge difference, and that's going to be why you see a big difference in the Dixie and the Jixie. Here's some pictures. And this is also pretty interesting about the future of Jasmy and the recent past. So here's from January 13th, uh, exactly a month ago. Launch version 2.0, Jasmy Secure PC, a robust blockchain security solution. Jasmy's participation in the Natural Capital Credit Consortium, so making partnerships, being part of consortiums. Phase 3 happening with the Platinum Data Happiness Discovery Project. I know it sounds good. Jasmy Secure PC. So they're all about security, all about democratization of data, and they have all these ties to the Japanese government as well as Japan's economy, as well as the future of what a lot of people say, IoT and AI being a next big push for the crypto market, a very exciting one. And so that's why I'm so interested in Jasmy, why I'm doing this video. Um, Let's take a look at some of the support levels. Jasmy is definitely one of the hardest coins to do, TA. I watch a lot of TA on YouTube, and a lot of the channels will just ignore Jasmy. And my guess is they've looked at it and they don't want to deal with this. You know, it looks pretty bad if you look at it from this, but if you take into account everything that I was just talking about with Japan's economy, it being a new coin, the greater macro trend of the crypto market, it could really be a gem. Coinbase actually had, they had their Learn to Earn program. Jasmy was one of the coins on there. They're definitely kind of tapped in and making moves. Um, but let's look at the year. So in the low 20s is where like its bottom was. It was kind of still, but more primarily like in the upper 20s, 0.002 is pretty much going to be the bottom where we've seen it so far, which happened way after the rest of the market and the FTX collapse and all that, which happened back here. This one was in December, whenever it hit its low. Kind of turned around the same time as the Jixie. Um, and now, let's look at other. Right now, we're at the point 6, which is going to be a key level of support because you see we had this like high over here in November that was right, and that it got rejected from harshly right at about this level at the point 0.6, 0.5, 6, and then we traded below that for this entire time, and then we finally broke out above 50, 0.005, and we've been able to trade above that, so we want to stay above that. We had this little spike up here. We got all the way up to 0.007, almost 0.008, and now we're trading back at 60. So we're hoping to keep that support at 60. And if it breaks, then we can look at like the 46 range, we want to really not go below 30. It looks like that was a key level of support. And if we can stay above 60, then that's definitely going to be a bullish sign if we start getting support there. So we're at a key level right now of support, possible or a resistance possibly flipping into support. So that is going to be my idea on price action. The next area to reclaim is going to be the 80 mid 80s, 0.008. And then we can take it from there, try to make it back up to 1 penny, which it traded at for a little bit or right below. And so that's the goal. Get above a penny, and then maybe we'll be back off to the races over here, because when I got to that penny mark, that's whenever we saw this crazy rise back in March of last year. And so that's going to be all I talk about today, the Jasmy coin. Thanks so much for stopping by in the smart contact world. I hope you all have a beautiful and awesome rest of your day. All you lovers, all you loners, take it easy.